Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down tonight. Come on. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Everything gonna be alright. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. Come on down today. Come on down to Jimmy Sports Lounge. It's a great place to stay.
Back again for number 10. Join Big B, DK, and Mike Jolitz for all the hot topics, weird news, and shenanigans. It's Cave Crew Radio, Season 10 at cavecrewradio.com.
Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on cavecrewradio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show. And remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are still here. My name is DK. Great to be here in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. We dodged the blizzard. We dodged the storm. It's only a little cold here. How's things in Queens?
It's actually above seasonal weather. It's been like in the upper 40s or around 50. So it's been rainy the past couple of days, but that's it.
We're being told the mildest January probably in 30 years.
I'll take it.
Is it global warming? I could care less, Greta.
It's not, just so you know. But yeah, I don't care. I hate the winter. I hate snow. I saw pictures from Jason and Amanda. I don't know how, I don't understand how people purposely move to areas that are cold and snowy. Like, how do people purposely move to Buffalo? How do people purposely move to northern Canada where, that's all you get is snow? I don't understand that in the slightest.
Great to see you out there, a Facebook user, number one fan of 2022. No, Big B, I'm the same as you. I curse my relatives who came here from Ireland or Wales or wherever they jumped on the ship and said, hey, let's go to this port.
Right.
Why go to Puerto Rico or Hawaii or Florida? And I understand there's bad weather along the way, but I'm getting less and less tolerant of cold weather. And I'm very lucky here in where I am. I'm similar to you. We get a much milder effect of things up an hour, 2 hours away, same as you in New York and Buffalo and stuff like that. The storms are crazy.
Now, I was actually thinking about this the other day. So here in the U.S., on the West Coast, you talk about California and states over there. If you're not north, like in Washington, northern Washington, but if you're in California, you're warmer. You have a warmer climate out on the West Coast. Is that the same on the West Coast of Canada, like in Calgary and
Vancouver? Calgary is not West Coast. Okay, it's Western Canada because it's such a big country, but Calgary's right in the middle. It's very, very cold there. But when you get to the actual West Coast, which is Vancouver, it's very similar to Seattle, and it's mild with a lot of rain.
Okay, I was always curious about that because you figure, like Southern California, it's always sunny, it's always warm down there, no matter what the season. But I was always figuring the West Coast of Canada, because it's Canada, it's more north, would be much colder.
Yeah, and good evening, Mike Jolitz. By the way, great to see you. Mike Jolis reads the news very shortly, by the way, folks. But it's funny where I live in this little pocket down in southern Ontario. It gets cold, too cold for my liking, but nothing like what the. But going back to your question, why in the world? So in the States, you can move anywhere. You can go to Hawaii, you can go to Kentucky, you can go to Florida, you can go to Texas, you can go live down in Arizona with Mike Jolich. You're very blessed. Your passport, takes you anywhere. But why would Amanda and Jason choose to live in that fucking winter hell when they can move further south where I am? There's plenty of work. Yes, we get a little bit of winter, maybe 2 snowfalls a year. Or what? We're 6 weeks and we're March now. We're there. Maybe one more snowstorm and we're out of this.
Well, I would think maybe for at least for Amanda, like, you know, her kids are established in schools up there or whatever. So I could understand them staying there. When I'm just thinking of people who come to our countries from wherever, you know, be it from, like, you know, immigrating from Cuba or Mexico or from Europe somewhere, wherever. Why would you choose to live in these northern areas like northern Canada, Montana, Buffalo, places where, you know, you're going to get hit with harsh cold weather and feet of snow
and
every year.
Freeze.
And I never understood that.
Whereas, you know, my goal is to get somewhere south. This is a great place from March to like December. The weather's beautiful here till they turn the damn clocks back and it gets dark at 5 o'clock.
Right.
I love it here. But other than that, and for this month, probably December, January, February, maybe March, I want a little trailer, go have tea and play pickleball with Mike Jolitz.
There you go.
You know, that's my goal.
He says it's 75 in Arizona.
And that's perfect.
Wouldn't it be lovely to go out on what is today? January 13th. Wouldn't it be nice to go sit out in your yard on January 13th with no jacket, a t-shirt, if it's 75, some shorts on, and just relax?
Or better yet, you wake up in the middle of the night. Both bathrooms in the house are taken. Or you just want to open the sliding door in your underwear and piss outside. That's the beauty of warm weather.
Is that something you do during the summer months?
I'm not saying I do, but I think I will this summer.
That's much like Stu pissing out of the cabin.
Just going outside and breathing the air and enjoying the stars and not fucking ice cold wind blowing down your back.
Right. Yeah. That I can't stand that. And when it snows here and we get storms, you got to bundle up and you got to shovel, and I can't stand it.
I hate it. Yeah, I want to go to my barbecue, my smoker, my gazebo, wherever. Anyway, folks, we're about to go live. It is Friday the 13th, and what a better way to celebrate Friday the 13th than with us here at Cave Crew Radio going down to the best state in the world, Florida. And, of course, Mike will have the news for us tonight. And apparently, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to stick around. The epicenter is changing.
I'm just doing something a little different.
The epicenter is changing, and we may have a tip of the week. Everything is time permitting. So the first thing we're going to do is hit this button right here. We're going to say, hello, England. We know it's very late, but it's great to be here with you on Pulse Talk Radio. And hello to other syndications as well. Here we go, Big B.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start. We have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1.
Bam! We are back again for number 10. Cave Crew Radio, Season 10. Let's go. CaveCrewRadio.com.
This is radio. Cave Crew Radio.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I mean, that's sad to do that. Yes, we have to get into, which I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Just saying, we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clavin, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power play goal! This is Cave Crew Radio.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed it is. Cave Crew Radio Season 10 back again for number 10. Since 2015, we've been with you, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a big show planned for you here on Friday the 13th. We're going to go to the strangest place on the planet because strange things happen on Friday the 13th. We're going to take a roll around Florida. We also have Mike Jolitz reads the news, perhaps a big tip of the week. We also have a brand new version of the Epicenter very soon. But before we get to that, Big B, I do have some.
We have breaking news.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if any of you know that I have a love-hate relationship with our major sponsor,
Jimmy's
Sports Lounge.
Jimmy's Sports Lounge.
On two of our shows, Jimmy and I went head-to-head, and it's amazing when Jimmy and I exchange pleasantries, which if we were on like regular terrestrial radio, you wouldn't hear words like fuck, you piece of shit, what have you done for me lately? But I do have in my hands, Big B.
Ooh, Jimmy's hats.
I've got some Jimmy's hats. I haven't got the toques or the shirts yet. I'm still trying to pry him out of that Jew's, out of his pantry. But I got some Jimmy's hats. One, obviously, I've got to hook up with Bacon.
Yes.
He's the first one to get it. If there's anybody out there who wants a Jimmy's hat, let me know. We'll arrange to get you a Jimmy's Sports Lounge hat, the bar that no one has ever been to, but we all love.
There you go.
Here on Radio.
I would say one, it just in my opinion, should make its way out to Surprise, Arizona.
Surprise, Arizona. Absolutely. I think like other people should have to do something for us.
No, I agree 100%. I think Mike should get one because of everything he contributes to the show, and he's a big part of the show. But anybody else should absolutely do something.
All right, we'll get one out. I'll contact Mike later, and I'll get his address. And surprise, we'll get a hat out to Mike. We'll get a hat out to Bacon. But I mean, the other people out there, they should do something like call their mother and tell them they're in jail on air.
Something. There's got to be something they can do.
Something juicy. Because I don't even know if Jimmy's is going to survive 2023, but it's almost part of our branding.
Right.
So
if you want a Jimmy's hat, contact cavecrewradio@gmail.com. Tell us what you want to do, and you have to do it on air. You have to come on air with us and do it.
The only other person I would consider is our Lifetime Achievement Award friend in the old country.
Oh, Choo Choo Stew.
Yeah. But that's going to raise Jimmy's rates even higher. I mean, that's going to. We need more swag, Jimmy. What you just sent me is going to be gone in a week. And I'll tell you, you know who got this done for us? It wasn't fucking Jimmy.
Jay Vegas?
Jay Vegas is the guy.
Jay Vegas.
He's like, come on, Jimmy. We got a good thing here. They're sprinkling us all over the internet.
Yes. They're sprinkling some Jimmy's juice.
Yeah. On a bet of 150, they're paying us 100.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for my breaking news, and we'll get into the story. I didn't even formally introduce you. I apologize.
And now, he is the king of the sovereign county of Urian Stench and Stenchlandia, the commander-in-chief of the Water Gypsies, the self-proclaimed president of the United States, a university graduate, and always the epicenter of something. Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness, Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York.
Yes, drama music. I
didn't realize drama music was coming. Live from Queens, New York, I am King B, King of Stenchlandia and of the Water Gypsies, your president-elect of the United States of America. And until late last week, I was going to be the Speaker of the House, but that has been taken care of. But as always, I am the epicenter of something. This week, I'm changing it a little bit. I'm not sure I'm the epicenter of anything, but I've received a couple of things that kind of made me question. So I may be the epicenter of things I get that make you question things. So first thing I got, you get these flyers in the mail. They're unsolicited. They're just like they're junk mail. You get these things in the mail for local businesses and whatever it is, right? We all get them. So this week I had gotten this.
Oh, hang on. I'm just lightening my camera. I noticed I was very bright.
There you go. So I got this.
Mosa Spa.
Yeah, so it's a spa. They give you coupons and everything. So I got this, and then as I'm reading it, I see this.
I can't read that.
It says no sexual service.
Oh, no happy ending.
No, they on the and it's not a sticker. It's part of the flyer. They say no happy endings, no sexual service.
So that's got to mean that some of their competitors are offering that as a bonus.
Maybe, I don't know. Why I wouldn't think you would need to say that if this is going out to everybody in the community,
right? You're
spending money on this, you have coupons, this is a legitimate business. I wouldn't think you would need to put no sexual service on these things.
So the Grandma Fanny in the Bronx is not going to get a stinker in the pinker.
Yeah, apparently not. I mean, they take that up front. So I don't know if can you read that now? Was everything backwards?
Well, it's hard to see, but Tell us what it says. And I dare you to walk in there. I'll give someone a Jimmy's hat, and Big B will mail you this coupon. And I want you to walk into they've got candy canes and bonbons.
It was a Christmas. It goes to May 6th, 2023.
Okay, I can see the coupons. $10 off coupon.
Yeah, there you go.
No sexual service involved, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that part's kind of backwards.
Oh, okay. So
I can see the no sexual service there, though.
There you go. That's better for you.
We are sorry you can't use the candy cane as the story you heard a couple weeks ago on Cave Crew Radio.
That's right. So I did get another thing, but before I move to my other thing, the drink is here.
Oh, geez, hang on. We really got to get something for that.
I know. There you go. What's it called? Cinnamon apple smash.
Oh,
and it's
it's
vodka, fresh squeezed orange juice from a real orange, simple syrup, brown sugar, apple cider, and cinnamon sprinkled on top.
Sounds delicious.
It's quite good. It's quite smooth.
And once again, I'll ask, is there a blender full or just one?
No, it's just the one glass.
She's getting cheap.
Well, it contains, you have to use a half an orange. So we tried it earlier to make sure it was okay. So we used up one whole orange making this. So I've already had one glass.
I love this, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a surprise, but to anyone but us. I have a question. Do you ever make the sample drink? No, it's no good. Toss it out. Make another sample drink. Toss it out.
Okay.
And then finally settle on the third. Like how many practices in the green room do we have?
It's only ever been, we'll make a drink, try it, and it's terrible, and on the second drink we're okay. We've never gone to 3.
All right, Guinness Book of World Records is on the line, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
I call again. Tell us.
Huh?
What's the name again?
Cinnamon apple smash, something to that effect.
I wonder what takes more effort, ladies and gentlemen, coming up with the name of the drink or the ingredients.
Well, I don't know. Some of these things we find online, so that's what it's called online.
Oh, so she's stealing the name, but altering the rest. She's got to come up with her own name on these drinks.
Some of them we do because we just make them up, but some of them we look up on the internet to get some ideas.
You just fucking blasted sampling drinks before the show. Let's call this the Do Re Mi.
I do actually have a little bit more in here.
A little bit extra in the shaker.
A little bit extra in the shaker. But getting back to
the epicenter. Yes.
My kind of sort of epicenter. I got another thing, and it happened this evening. When you want something that has nothing on it, like a bagel or something, what do you call them? Plain bagels, right? Plain, right? You want nothing on it, plain.
Yeah.
So we ordered. My little son wanted a chicken sandwich for dinner tonight, so we ordered Popeyes. They got a family meal where everybody gets chicken sandwiches, and we get some coleslaw and things like that. So my older son likes everything plain. He's like Elwood in the Blues Brothers.
My kid's
dry white toast.
He likes ranch, but
no, my son doesn't like any condiment whatsoever. Nothing. He wants plain everything. Even a sandwich, it's meat and bread, nothing, no mustard, no mayo, no ketchup, no nothing. He wants plain everything. So I put in the order, no mayo, no pickles coming on the sandwich. So they mark it as plain. So in this instance, and I have to ask you a question, in this instance, when you want something plain, how do you spell the word plain?
Oh, good question. I would spell it Plane.
No.
No, Plain.
Plain. Plane is the thing that is in the sky.
Right.
That takes you from
Correct.
place to
You're
place.
correct. Yeah, it's been a long week, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm drinking beer and he's babbling.
So it's a good thing you did spell it the first way, though, because on the Popeyes bag, they say
we gotta go solo.
They say you can't really see it, but it says
Yeah,
plane.
no, I can see that. It says plane. Plane.
Plane.
Yes.
This makes me question the people that work there, and it reminds me of the story we did on TikTok where nobody knew what a nutcracker was.
Well,
these are the same people.
Me. That did
include you, and you spelt it wrong too.
Yeah.
When somebody wants something plain, it's Plain. I didn't think we'd have to teach somebody that was at maximum third grade.
They're working at Popeyes.
What's your excuse?
I'm drunk.
So, yes. So these are the things that made me have come up with questions. Why does it happen? Why do they need that? Why does somebody think that the chicken sandwich is turning into a 747? I don't know.
You know what, though? I think it really, remember, who was it? I think it was Burger King. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, special orders, don't upset us. I think back in the day, you could never do that. But now everyone I'd like a chicken sandwich without chicken. You get it in all forms. And my kid, he's same way. Give me a cheeseburger, no tomato, no onion. Wants the lettuce, wants the bacon, whatever. I get it. We're all a little fussy in what we want to eat. But yeah, when you rattle the standard recipe of the person doing it's almost like a factory, I think, in those places. Station 1, ketchup, station 2, mustard, station 3, pickle, and I think it really, not in a regular restaurant, but in a fast food restaurant, I think that really rattles them.
So do you think when they were told they had the right on the packaging, they had the right plane on it, they got nervous? They kind of got that hot feeling of when you're nervous and you don't know what to do. And the first thing that came to mind was their summer vacation when they went to, Grenada somewhere. And
I don't think anyone at Popeyes has been on a plane.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, true.
I mean, talking about you. You have experience in this, managing the Tim Hortons way back when. Not talking about you, but the employees that you managed. They were kids, right? They're younger kids.
And there's nothing more difficult when you get an order in and I want sausage on my sandwich instead of bacon, or I want a double order of cream cheese on my bagel or whatever. Anything out of the norm, because there's pictures there, right? This is how you make a ham sandwich. You put the bread, and then you put the lettuce, and then you put the tomato, and then you put the ham, and then you put the mustard and whatever. And as soon as someone breaks that pattern, I think it's quite traumatic for these kids.
And that's why, if I go to a fast food place, I don't particularly like onions. So I don't want onions on my burgers. But if I go to a fast food place, I will never say no onions, because it always comes out the entire order is wrong. So I'll just take the onions, and when I get my food, I will physically take the onions
Scrape them off.
Right. But if I did it through the drive-through or at the counter, the entire order, not just mine, but the entire rest of the order would be completely messed up. Just because I said no onions.
Right. It's almost like a siren goes off.
It's and then this is what happens. plane becomes Plane.
What was on that chicken sandwich?
Nothing. Chicken and a bun. That was it.
That's what you wanted, though.
That is, but they spelt it wrong, which is what I'm saying.
So the order was correct, but the spelling was wrong. Let me get this right. So they nailed it. They nailed the order. There was nothing on that chicken sandwich except for chicken and a bun, and you're bitching because the vowel was in the wrong place.
The completely wrong vowel is in the word, and it makes it a completely different word.
Okay, now I swing completely backwards because I thought the order was wrong.
No.
Who gives a shit what's on there? They can put Mary Jane as long as the sandwich is made right.
It's the point of the thing where they think that plane is the thing that flies in the air. That this is what this is. This becomes a fucking Delta 747 that's flying in the air that's going to take you to fucking Poughkeepsie.
So you're bent out of shape. Not because they got your order wrong, because they spelt something wrong, because you called Hooked on Phonics for your dinner. I think you're going a little extreme on that one.
It's the point of it. It's not the correct word. And that just goes to show the education in this country where people don't know plane, Plain, from plane, Plane, the thing that flies around in the air.
But the dinner was right. The boy loved it.
I wouldn't say that he loved it. He's 16 years old. He doesn't.
Well, I realize that, but he ingested it quicker than
he did ingest it. Yes, he did ingest it. Yes.
So we just spent the past 10 minutes on an order that was made correctly because a word was spelled wrong.
Because they spelt it wrong.
Oh, folks.
It's the things that I never said the order was wrong. I said the word was wrong.
Well,
it's the things that make me question things.
All right. There you go, folks. The new epicenters will be in 2023. The things that make me question things.
Not necessarily. That was just for today, but...
Well, maybe next week. I kind of enjoyed this. You let us down the trail where Alice in Wonderland kind of went. We weren't sure.
It could be. I got to see what comes up next week.
But I really think you should hold on to that flyer. We need to. We're going to need to give those people a call.
Absolutely, I have it right here.
Not tonight. But
not tonight. They're open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. East Coast time.
Who's going to call?
Oh, there you go.
Who are you going to call?
Who's going to call the Mosa Spa and ask for sexual service, even though their flyer says no sexual service?
Right. I think you spelt it wrong on the flyer.
Yes, you spelt it wrong. No should be yes. You spelled yes wrong.
I have been to spas all over this entire planet, and in every single one I have ejaculated. I even placed my penis randomly in a glory hole. And I always have a happy ending. I dare you offer me any sort of a discount without a happy ending. All right. I say before we get really rolling here, we go to our brother in Arizona. And then we can skip over to
Mike Jolitz. We can.
And then we can skip over to our Friday the 13th Tour de la Florida. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in Florida, there is always a happy ending.
And we have one other story that just caught both of our attention.
Yes, and hopefully a tip of the week, which really isn't important this week. But anyway, folks, here you go. Here's the man. Here's the myth. Here's the legend.
And now, Cave Crew Radio presents Mike Reads the News with Mike Jolitz.
Hello, Cave Crew Radio. How are you, DK? And how's it going, Sir Big B? Kia ora. Guten Tag. Happy Friday the 13th, bitches. And it's been a hell of a week. And yeah, it's just been a good week for me. I don't know. It's cool. So, alrighty, guys. It is now time for the news. Ron Jeremy will not go to trial over the sexual assaults he was arrested for. He has severe dementia and is not doing well.
The hedgehog is dying.
Arizona Cardinals have fired Cliff Kingsbury. That's a good start. Next, get rid of the quarterback and make the owner sell to someone who wants to field a good team. Until then, fuck that team. They found Kanye West. He was thought to be missing or dead for weeks. He wasn't. Turns out he was in the shitter at Taco Bell after a late-night run to the border and subsequent explosive diarrhea. He lost 20 pounds and is looking gaunt. He's currently eating pancakes at IHOP to gain weight. The Georgia Bulldogs defeated TCU and are the NCAA football champions. I didn't watch the game. I missed it. I forgot it was on. Here's something you may not have known. Blake Wheeler of the Winnipeg Jets finished the hockey game against the Predators after his testicle was ruptured in a game last month. He took a shot to the junk. He played 18 minutes in the third period. Talk about a tough bastard. Damn. The Houston Texans fired head coach Lovie Smith. Only lasted a year. He coached more losses than wins and only has 3 wins, 3 losses in the postseason. He was always a scrub. Mm-hmm. The almost 9 million square mile hole in the ozone layer seems to be closing. So that means President Bonehead and the Democrats will claim victory. Wouldn't it be weird if the world started cooling down? Makes you wonder. And finally in the news, I went to take a shit at work yesterday. Sat there and sat there. Nothing happened. I just farted. Oh well, I got an extra break. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. It is now time for the tidbits. They're not headlines. They're just little tiny pieces of shit. Yeah. The Weavers house is back on the market. I hope they sell it. Oh, yeah. Legendary guitarist Jeff Beck died. He was 78. Oh, yeah. And finally, in the tidbits, Demi Lovato announced her Holy Fuck tour will be her last one. I don't care. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, guys, that does it for the news. That does it for the tidbits. Tschüss, ciao, and auf Wiedersehen. Hope you guys have a great show. I'll be back here next week with some more news for you guys. Later. Bye-bye.
Hot topics, weird news, shock talk radio, cavecrewradio.com.
I am dying to dig deeper into the Weavers. I will not rest.
More Weaver breaking. That's breaking Weavers news. That their house is back on the market. Mike, please send me that link so I can see the Weavers house and how much they're selling it for.
Yes, can we post the Weavers house on Cave Crew Radio so we can help it be sold? But more importantly, Mike, please give us some background in this. This could be a great audio series that we could all complete together. It could be huge on Audible and where all those books, those audio books and stuff. I don't know. Is this a suspense? Is it a comedy? Is it a horror movie? We need more.
I have a question from Mike. When I was out in Arizona, I was at Mike's house. He told me about a neighbor that just randomly shoots off fireworks for no apparent reason. And the dogs, his dogs go nuts. And he's asked the neighbor to stop doing it at certain times of the day and they ignore him. Is that the Weavers? I don't remember if you had told me who it was or not, but is the firework neighbor the Weavers?
Yeah. This is big. This is bigger than Wendy and Dave at the allotment. We haven't had a outside story so big in such a long time as the Weavers, which none of us know but Mike, and it's top secret. But anyway, Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday the 13th, and we have for you a very special edition this week.
Everyone from Florida is stupid.
Cave Crew Radio presents Florida in the News.
Yes, indeed we do. We didn't get to it last week, and we've got even more this week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a Friday the 13th trip around Florida, and hopefully I've got things queued up properly via Big B's instructions. But this, I'm sure, happened on some retirement place where golf carts are plentiful and retirees are stumbling.
It would have to be if you're using a golf cart. This first story comes from villagesnews.com. Headline reads, Villager allegedly knocks woman to the ground in golf cart road rage incident.
Golf cart road rage. I love it.
Hold while I write things down.
Yeah, of course. What else could you? So again, we talked about this about in the pre-show, living in the winter, you want to retire to the warmth, the green grass, as you see, the sun, the palm trees. You wouldn't expect to see golf cart road rage.
Apparently, road rage takes on all forms.
Yes.
A villager allegedly knocked a woman to the ground in an apparent golf cart road rage incident. The woman and her husband had been driving separate golf carts at about 5:30 p.m. Thursday in the area of Quartz Avenue in the village of Dunedin when they were passed by 62-year-old, now I got to be careful with his name, Frank Dillid. It's spelled like dildo. No, it's spelled like dildo. But that it's like Dillido. I'm just going to call him Frank Dildo.
I just want to call out his and her golf carts.
His and her golf carts.
You've heard of the separate bedrooms and, and whatever makes the relationship work. I'm not here to question anything. His and her golf carts were out on the road at the resort.
Lucy and Ricky sleeping in separate twin beds.
Yeah.
His and her golf carts.
Yeah.
Frank Dildo was also traveling in a golf cart. According to the arrest report from Sumter County Sheriff's Office. It appeared Dildo passed them because he believed they were driving too slowly. How fast does a fucking golf cart go?
And what is usually when you go to a campground or something, there's like a posted speed, 10 miles per hour or whatever it is. Right. Because there's kids playing or, like people are walking or whatever. There should be no speeding of golf courts in this involved.
He later, as he passed them, he passed them, he later slammed on his brakes and began following the couple.
Oh, can you imagine? So he slammed on the brake. The red cart, or I'm assuming it's the red cart, is sliding backwards. He's in a Grand Theft Auto.
It's a GTA retirement village.
Yes. New video game idea, ladies and gentlemen. We've come up with these ideas for years. If someone would take and run with this, you'd make a fortune.
We just need a little piece of it.
Yeah.
The couple stopped their golf carts in the middle of the roadway, and Dildo pulled ahead and used his golf cart to block the path of the cart driven by the woman's husband.
We got to
The Massachusetts native pushed the woman to the surface of the roadway, causing an abrasion to her elbow. Oh. He got back in his golf cart and drove away. He drove back by a short while later, but did not stop. A dog walker who witnessed the incident backed up the couple's account of what had transpired. Dildo was arrested on a charge of battery and booked in the Sumter County Detention Center. He was released after posting $1,000 bond.
$1,000. Could you imagine this action, ladies and gentlemen, around your trailer park when you retire? You think you're going for peace.
You're right.
We'll do a little yoga at 7, breakfast, bingo, maybe go to the thrift shop. You wouldn't expect this kind of stuff. Old habits die young. He's probably a Hell's Angel.
It says he's from Massachusetts, so he's up there screaming at minorities in Massachusetts, yelling every racial epithet he can. So I'm assuming he just brought the same attitude down to Florida.
Yeah. And where the fuck was he going? Like, I guess if you got to piss, you got to piss, but like, what is the rush when you're in that situation?
I don't get it either. You're in a retirement village. You're all riding a golf. It's not like he was in a Mustang and they're in front of him riding, doing putt 10 miles an hour in their golf cart. They're all riding golf carts.
Right. It's
So
like
where are you
Mario
going?
Kart for seniors.
Oh my God. Take up pickleball. You'll feel better.
Yeah, take out your anger or whatever. I get it. Okay. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Be very careful when you retire. Also, this one kind of reminds me of the flyer that Big B was reading. At least the flyer was very clear.
Right.
Apparently, where this gentleman went, it wasn't very clear.
This coming from ABC7.com. Headline reads, man claims genitals were grabbed at Port Charlotte massage spa.
Obviously not the same flyer you received. Maybe that's why they put it on the flyer.
Well, I mean, let's be realistic. The ones that do sexual service and the ones that don't are fairly obvious from the front of the building.
Usually there's Korean writing on the front, right?
And all sorts of curtains drawn and,
Right.
you just know.
Roxanne.
A Port Charlotte man got more than he bargained for after he went in for a massage before being inappropriately fondled. It was around 7:30 p.m. on a balmy January 3rd when a man strolled into a massage parlor located at 2191 Tamiami Trail. He lingered in the lobby as he perused the menu.
Oh,
noting that
when there's a menu, there's a problem.
there's a problem.
Yeah.
And if you're lingering in the lobby, not realizing what kind of joint you're in, there's a problem as well.
Right.
He noted that a 30-minute massage only costs $70.
Good deal.
The 48-year-old was greeted by Quan Dwai Dong.
There, right away, Quen. I don't know how to interpret this, but something about really rock hard on your dong.
Quan Dwai Dong.
Could she fit into the Weaver storyline by any chance?
Well, I could write her name down. You have to give me a second because it's like 97
because
letters.
her and that sheriff and we're just trying to form possibilities of Yellowstone has 5 seasons, ladies and gentlemen. The Weavers does not necessarily have to be 1 or 2 episodes. Anyway, Quen Dai Dong went to the potential client, I might add. In a massage parlor that had a menu.
It had a menu,
right?
And he was lingering in the lobby. Where was I? After a conversation, they talked. After a conversation, the man decided on the half-hour stress-relieving experience and happily turned over a crisp $100 bill. However, he never received the change, which would be $30. He should receive $30 in change.
Right.
Instead, Dong escorted him to a back room.
Nice. With a red light.
That was when she reportedly asked him to strip down. According to the Charlotte County Sheriff's arrest report, the man complied and became head to toe naked.
She said, take off your woohoos.
And he did happily. While peeling off his pants and additional accoutrements.
Oh, as in garments, for those of us who can't spell plane properly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dong interjected and told him to lay face down on the table.
Right.
Without a towel and completely in the buff, the man said he noticed that Dong did nothing but meander aimlessly around the room for nearly 5 minutes.
Meander aimlessly. She's about to make egg foo young in your buttocks.
As he started to suspect he might be getting scammed, Dong poured some oil and began barely applying pressure to his aching shoulders. So she's kind of going through the motions. Here's a little oil before you get to the main event. Following 10 minutes...
Saving my energy. I'm about to have a Red Bull when you roll over.
Following 10 minutes of light kneading, Dong ordered the man to flip over onto his back. Then once again, without the security of a hand towel or any symbolic covering, the massage resumed with a focus on his upper chest.
Right.
Then Dong went too far. After he claims that without provocation, Dong securely grabbed his penis and testicles.
Securely grabbed. Two-handed.
Like she was falling down a fucking mountain, and that's the branch that she could grasp onto to save her life. She's grabbing onto his dick and balls.
Here's your $70, motherfucker.
Aghast at the clutching of his privates, the man told Dong to unhand his genitals. It was then the man told authorities that Dong began negotiating sexual favors and asking for more money to continue.
He just asked you to unhand his genitals. Excuse me.
Grabbing for his clothes, the man demanded his money back and threatened to call 911. Dong refused, only returning $50. Remember, he gave her $100.
Right.
She returned $50 and attempted to block the man from leaving the business.
Well, she did touch his hoo-hoo. That's got to be worth $20.
At least.
Yeah.
The man claims Dong became physical and even pushed him up against the wall to stop him from fleeing. Sheriffs were called and they responded to the massage spa. Miss Dong explained to authorities that it was the man who had asked for an additional sex acts and she had refused. She states he became so agitated that she gave back some money just to make him leave. Further investigation found that Dong was the instigator. She was arrested and faces charges of unnatural and lascivious act and battery.
Ooh. What I find hard to believe is that is actually in the legislature of law. Who came up with that one?
Well, it's like a lewd and lascivious act. That's kind of just general. It's not just pertaining to Asians in a hand job place. That's anybody out in public. Lewd and lascivious behavior
that would grab your balls and your cock at once in the grocery store.
Well, sometimes they grab themselves, things like that. They grab themselves like in a non naked form, but they're just sitting there grabbing themselves as these perverts watch young girls walk down the aisle of a supermarket. They start touching themselves. That's considered an act of lewd and lascivious behavior.
Well, she's really bad then.
Right.
I mean, okay. Well, I hope he's okay. It sounds like a priest, was trying to maybe get a haircut and walked into the wrong building.
I think, and this is just my own personal opinion because it's nothing in the story that says it. I think he is married, went to a rub and tug, went to a rub and tug, and his wife found out about it, and then the story was made up.
Gotcha. Because I like, if that happened to me, just saying, I don't think I'd use the terminology let go of my genitals. Would you?
No, probably not.
No. All right.
Take your hands off my dick. Leave me the fuck alone.
Fuck
Things like
you,
that.
bitch.
Right.
You dirty whore. Take your hands off me. I don't think I'd do the PG version of can you let go of my genitals?
Yeah, no, probably not.
Anyway, this one's pretty cool too. This is a guy who's he's just trying to make a movie.
This next one comes from the Orlando Sentinel. Headline reads, film producer robbed Orange County Bank to fund movie. A film producer faces more than 20 years in prison after robbing a bank in Orange County. On June 28th, 2022, Naco Ray Brown walked into the McCoy Federal Credit Union in Belle Isle, south of Orlando, and passed a note threatening the teller. Threatening the teller. I got to.
I was waiting for what was on the fucking note.
No, I got as I'm saying this, a pop-up came up. So just threatening the teller. Brown, dressed in a baseball cap, sunglasses, surgical mask, and plastic gloves, told the teller he had a gun and demanded money. He fled with nearly $4,300 in cash.
That doesn't seem like a lot to me.
It does not seem like a lot of money. A witness saw Brown enter a nearby gas station and change his clothes. The witness told the Belle Isle Police Department, who arrested Brown at the hotel he was staying in. Police recovered the demand note, the stolen cash, and the disguise he wore to rob the bank.
You're already in the suit. What are you changing into? Orange?
He thinks he's like Superman.
Okay.
He goes into the phone booth, does a quick spin, and suddenly, he comes out with a cape.
Right.
Brown told officials he robbed the bank because he was filming a movie in Florida and ran out of money to pay for the production.
He was $4,300 short.
I mean, when you're talking about making a Marvel movie of, $3 billion, that $4,300 at the end really hurts.
He was making Point Break. What is that? Point Break, where they robbed.
Yeah, Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break, the remake.
Point Break 2.
Yeah, Point Break 2, ladies and gentlemen.
He faces 20 years in prison for the bank robbery and 3 more years for violating the terms of his release. What release, you should say?
Yes.
Brown was on probation after robbing 3 Baltimore area banks in 2001. A judge
needed to move to Florida to make a fucking movie.
Well, maybe he was making movies in Baltimore and, again, ran out of money to pay these high-price actors and had to rob banks. A judge granted him an early release in 2020 after Brown served 19 years out of his initial 25-year sentence.
Oh, he was there for a while.
He was there for a while. Apparently didn't learn his lesson.
Wow. That's it.
That's it. That's the end of the story.
Wow. I wonder if what's his name, Francis Coppola or Spielberg, have a shaded past like that.
I want to know if Quentin Tarantino had to knock off the local Chase Bank when he was filming Pulp Fiction.
The only difference is they got away with it.
Right. John Travolta had to have that extra $4,300 in his rider. So Quentin Tarantino had to run to the Chase Bank and rob them.
I hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to call 911, please do not call for this reason.
This next story out of Florida comes from the New York Post. Headline reads, Florida burglars call 911 to get help moving stuff.
Yeah.
2 people in Florida.
You're in the wrong line of work. I'm going to call it right now.
Yeah. But again, this is Florida. This is normal. This is an average Tuesday in Florida. 2 people in Florida were arrested after one of them made a 911 call to get help with moving their belongings from a home they were burglarizing.
Right. The cops are going to come. What should we do, Harry? Let's call 911. They'll be here quicker than Uber.
And they'll help us move. Maybe they'll bring the paddy wagon.
Yeah.
And we could fit stuff in the van.
Well, tell them it's an emergency. A hurricane is coming.
Deputies responded to a home Saturday after a 911 call was made, but nobody spoke. At the home, the deputies concluded that nobody lived there, but they found a male suspect and his girlfriend inside the home after entering it through an unlocked door. Deputies had been searching for the male suspect after identifying him from security video as a burglar at a Dollar General store in Point Kiana, Florida, where several items were stolen earlier in the day. Point Kiana is about 35 miles south of Orlando.
So he is a repeat offender.
He is a serial burglar.
A serial burglar. Yes, I like it.
While talking to deputies, the female suspect told them that she had called 911 for the purpose of having law enforcement help them move their belongings from the house they were burglarizing. They also wanted to get a ride to the airport so they could spend the weekend in New York. Deputies did help them with their belongings and did give them a ride, but it wasn't to the airport. It was to the Polk Pokey.
It would be cool to get a real 911 operator on with their strangest requests.
I'm sure they hear everything from actual, murders going on to idiots like this looking for moving services.
Because remember, I know this is a little off topic. I can't remember. I think it was Betty, but remember the flight attendant we had back in the day? This is season 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a flight attendant that wrote a book and gave us.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you probably don't remember. And then we had the cabbie. We had the cabbie from New York who came on. I'm sure this is not Double Talk. This is Cave Crew.
No, we did a bunch of, especially when you were doing your solo show, when you were interviewing authors and all that. There was a few people on there that came on to Cave Crew. So I'm sure they're in there somewhere.
Yeah, and a sex talk worker. And anyway, but so here we are. We called 911. There's no recorded conversation of this. I'd love to hear it.
Well, if you can find the 911 call, all of those are recorded, so they're out there somewhere. So they were taken to the Polk Pokey, and they are welcome to stay there all weekend long. The Polk Pokey is much better than New York anyway, the police said. The male suspect was charged with burglary and theft related to the store and also burglary of a residence. The female suspect was charged with burglary of a residence, was also charged with burglary of a residence.
Is there a charge? I'm just curious. You might not know this, but is there a charge when you call 911? So, like, I don't even know if the rule still exists, but if you call an ambulance and it's for a good reason, it's allowable. But if you're like what can I say, a multiple offender, you will get charged for said ambulance.
Yeah, I think it's a misdemeanor for calling 911 in a non-emergency situation. I don't know what the charge is, but I think it's a misdemeanor. Like you,
because that's got to get expensive for communities.
Right, you're taking resources away from a potential real emergency, for whatever dumb reason that you're calling. So I think it's a ticket. You don't get arrested for it. I think it's like a notice to appear in court.
Right, which they won't even pay anyway, because they have no money.
Right.
Hello, 911. I can't get the couch through the door.
Right.
Unbelievable. All right. that's that one. I can't even see. Oh, yeah, we still have a few left here, ladies and gentlemen. And I think they get a little more serious.
A little more strange, a little more weird, a little more Florida.
Yeah, well, it's all Florida tonight, by the way.
This coming from CBS News. Headline reads, naked Florida man prompts airport evacuation after claiming he planted a bomb. Police used a taser on a naked man who prompted an evacuation at a Florida airport after allegedly claiming he had planted a bomb. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood said that authorities received a call about a naked man running around the terminal at Daytona Beach International Airport early Friday morning. More than 200 passengers were evacuated. Chitwood said John Greenwood was naked on the baggage carousel and yelled, "The bomb is going to go off. I planted a bomb in the bathroom."
He's like fucking. This is like the X-rated version of Elf. You know, Elf. But Christmas is coming. Yeah, it's like, how come I never see any of this shit? I go through airports. I go on vacation. There's always weird people. Not worthy of doing a story on the show, but I always see weird people doing weird shit in the airport. But
can you imagine you're coming off a long trip from, just say you're coming from California. So you're coast to coast. It's a long 5-hour flight. You're tired. You're waiting for your luggage to come through on that carousel. All of a sudden, from those little rubber curtain things, out comes a naked man sitting on the carousel talking about a bomb blowing up.
Wagging his inky dink, saying, "We're all about to blow up here, kids."
And all you want to do is get your bags, go to the local IHOP, have some breakfast, and go to your hotel.
Exactly. But how did he get behind the curtain? And did no one see him naked hopping onto the carousel?
So many questions. All of these stories, forever since we've been doing them, have so many questions that are never answered.
Was he clothed when he snuck into the back? And
that comes up later.
If I wanted to, not that I want to, but let's just say I wanted to get behind the curtain and see what is exactly going on with the luggage. I wanted a backstage tour. Which door leads that way?
I couldn't tell you, but I know what happened to his clothes. It's coming up.
Oh, great. Okay.
Deputies used a taser to stun Greenwood, who was taken into custody. Chitwood said Greenwood was transported to a hospital and admitted using Molly and other drugs the night before. The station reports that the bomb squad used canine units to search the airport, but no bomb was found, and the airport returned to normal operations. According to Chitwood, Greenwood had entered the airport fully clothed and went into a ladies' restroom where he stripped and hid his clothes in a backpack that he stuffed behind some sheetrock. Now, I have another question.
What is sheetrock?
Why is there loose sheetrock in the ladies' bathroom in the airport?
It's Florida.
You would think that if there's loose sheetrock, that means construction is not finished. They would tape off the bathroom, not for use. You can't go in. It's locked. You can only get in with the key, and the construction crew has the key so they can finish drywalling the room. But no, he's free to go in strip naked and place his clothes behind the walls for, if somebody 700 years from now goes and excavating, oh, look, here's clothes of a naked crazy man from 2023.
Called Greenwood. But here's my thing. So you've been in airports, so you know how they have like those lunch bars where you can sit and have a drink and eat, and you're watching out. Imagine just, you're getting a little bit of breakfast, some scrambled eggs, some French toast, whatever you're into. You're sitting there with a family and you're eating, and a naked man is being tasered in front of you at the airport. This would be the best part of my trip.
And that's where you would find out who the real Floridians were, because they would pay it no mind, and all the tourists would be there with their phones taking pictures.
Well,
Just like we do here in New York. If things happen, us New Yorkers just walk right past, two homeless guys beating the crap out of each other, walk right past. Tourists are there. Oh my God. They're taking pictures and doing their TikToks. Same thing in Florida. Things like this happen all the time in Florida. It's nothing to them.
Here comes just like a pinball shooting out of a pinball machine. Here comes Greenwood out of the plastic on the luggage panel, and they're sitting there with a taser, and the guy's doing the Macarena.
and the native Floridians are like, oh, Joe, look, it's another naked guy getting tased. Anyway, did you see the game last night?
I'd just be eating my toast.
Yeah. Chitwood told the station that Greenwood was held twice in 2007 under the Baker Act, which allows for involuntary mental health examination.
He doesn't look that old.
Well, 2007.
Well, that's like 20 years. Well, not 15 years ago. He was insane when he was like home alone.
He could be, 20, he could be 35 there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where we are. And was once arrested for an allegation of assault on a Daytona Beach police officer. The sheriff said he did not believe Greenwood had served prison time on that charge. Chitwood said Greenwood faces a slew of federal charges for his alleged actions in the airport. 2 flights were reportedly departing the airport at the time of the incident, and officials said that all affected passengers who waited outside the airport for about 90 minutes were re-screened before boarding the flights. So this is an airport, so this is federal. Anything that happens in an airport is a federal offense.
Right.
So, you're facing years in prison for this. This isn't just a little slap on the wrist, pay a fine. You're in federal territory. You're going to prison.
Right. That wasn't a joyride down the luggage rack. It was
certainly not.
That's an image that will be burned in my mind. He's doing this like he's on the top of a roller coaster, riding through with the rest of the luggage, and he gets tased. It's fucking beautiful.
Just another Tuesday in Florida.
Oh, my Lord. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And we do not know where he is now.
No.
Here's a strange cat.
Next story.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. That's all.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
This next story comes from NBC2.com. Headline reads: Naples burglar defies deputies during toilet standoff. It was a battle on the bowl as Collier County deputies did what they needed to pry a burglar off the toilet of a house he had forced himself into. So he broke into the house and ran to the bathroom.
And immediately so does this guy have Crohn's?
It could be. I don't know.
Okay.
According to the homeowner, James Jimmy Hobbs meandered up to his front door on December 27th and began demanding money. After being sent away, Hobbs was undeterred and instead of leaving the scene, looked for another point of entry.
If I can't have money, I'm going to poop in your toilet.
He hid behind the homeowner's vehicle until the coast was clear. Then Hobbs snuck his way toward the back of the home and imposed his way into the lanai by shattering the pool door. I don't know what a lanai is.
I'd have to Google that as well.
Lanai.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
L-A-N, hang on. Lanai?
Yes. He said he imposed his way into the lanai. I don't know what that is.
It's a place in Hawaii is what...
I guess maybe they used the wrong word.
Oh, a roofed porch or veranda.
Okay. So he forced his way into that.
Why did they just say that? It was a roof porch.
They have to be fancy with their lanai. By shattering the pool door. As he approached the slider that gained entry to the house, Hobbs used so much force to pry it open that he crushed the locking device. Having realized the stranger had just barged into his domicile, the homeowner fled from his residence and contacted authorities. As deputies arrived, they scoured the home for Hobbs. As they made their way into the master bedroom, they heard scuttling from the bathroom. Inside was Hobbs sitting on the toilet in the middle of his business.
Number 2.
Numero dos. Deputies ordered Hobbs to remove himself from the porcelain seat, but Hobbs refused to comply. In their arrest report, CCSO noticed that Hobbs appeared to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Still in his seated position, Hobbs remained defiant until one deputy removed his taser and activated the red light, indicating the next course of intervention.
You need to get a taser. You have all these really cool things around your basement, but you need a taser.
Tasers are illegal. I cannot have a taser. I have my stun gun, but I cannot have a taser.
Really? Because these tasers are in every story.
They are, but they're all held by police officers. I, as a citizen, cannot own a taser, at least here in New York City.
I'll cause you to finish. Your keister's gonna squeeze when I fucking shoot you with this, you fucking bastard.
I would love to have a taser. Facebook user, hi guys. Hi, Facebook user. Please tell us who you are.
Facebook user, great to see you.
Please tell us who you are.
Yeah.
Realizing his cornered situation, Hobbs rose to his feet. I'm hoping he was done with his business.
Yeah.
He rose to his feet without further issue and was handcuffed and placed in the back of a cruiser. Did they give him a chance to at least wipe?
Did he flush?
Did he flush? Another good point. Did he wipe? Did he flush?
Yeah. So
on his way.
Imagine that. So I know it's not going to happen. You don't have one of those fancy verandas, whatever you called it earlier. Great to see you, Jason. You know how to be Jason, so I don't know why you're still doing this. Anyway, imagine someone comes in, they break in your house, they use your toilet, you're happy, the police have tased him, they remove the guy. I don't want to walk back into my bathroom filled with shit.
No, neither do I. Not even a little bit.
We have no idea why you're a Facebook user. We don't control this stuff. You enable permissions, which should enable you constantly to be in the chat. But it's great to see you. But right now, a guy just got tased on the toilet. He did not wipe. He did not flush.
On his way to the Naples jail center, a clearly frustrated Hobbs commented to deputies that he needed them to speed up the process so that he could get back to drinking.
Oh, okay.
Hurry up and get on with this arrest so I can continue drinking.
I thought you were going to say he wasn't done shitting.
You would think. For his unapproved bathroom break, Hobbs was arrested and faces several charges, including burglary of an occupied dwelling, disorderly intoxication, and criminal mischief.
And breaking that fucking word we didn't know.
Lanai.
He broke the dude's lanai. All right, folks. We're almost there. One more. And unfortunately, I do think I think the rest of the show is going to involve poo. But anyway, it gets better as we go. Here's a nice young gentleman. This guy was apparently already in court, though, was he not?
Yes. Well, speaking of doing your business, isn't lanai a porch or a sitting area? Yes, Jason, it is.
Yes. Well, where were you when we were asking the fucking question?
Right. Comes in always 2 seconds too late.
I'm Jason. I'm your number one fan. I'm too busy eating in a parking lot with my girlfriend in a van. But once I'm done, I'm going to tune in and hey, can I have a hat?
This final story from Florida comes from WBDO, Orlando's News and Talk Radio.
Ooh, big station.
Florida man poops in court, flings feces at judge. Then it gets really weird.
How does it get any weirder than this?
Court officials say a Florida man defecated during his criminal trial and tried to throw his feces at the judge.
So wait a minute. When I don't know much about it because I haven't experienced it. So forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, but and I'm acting out the part. But don't they usually have their hands handcuffed and they're coming in? And so, like, if you defecate, you got no hands to throw anything, right?
So when I was reading this story earlier in the week, I was thinking that, but it depends. And I don't know the criteria, but if you go to court, sometimes you are handcuffed, sometimes you are not, depending on, I guess, where you are in the process. What usually, like if you're in court for a proceeding, you'll be handcuffed as you come in. They'll take the handcuffs off so you can sit at the defense table or go up to the stand, things like that. So they'll usually take your cuffs off during the court proceedings.
Got it.
Sometimes they don't. It depends on the situation, but a lot of times.
What inside your brain is going? I'm going away for 7 to 20 anyway. I'm gonna shit my pants.
People do it. In this world of law enforcement and criminal behavior, it happens more often than you think. Court officials say, the Miami Herald reports 33-year-old Dorleans Philidor.
These names kill me.
Jesus, Dorleans Philidor.
Can we write that down for the Weaver?
I can. Dorleans could he be a Weaver's character?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he's like the butler or something. He kind of looks like Benson if you look at the picture.
All right, so I'm writing Dorleans Philidor.
Yeah. But if we don't get help from Mike Jolitz, this isn't going to take off the ground anyway.
Well, we just make it up.
True. We got great imaginations. So Dorleans Thibodeau is in his orange suit, standing on trial. I would think looking for a positive result, like we're going to put you on probation. Maybe you got to scrub down some graffiti on the walls of the local churches, whatever. And he decides to shit himself.
Well, he was in court on Friday on charges of burglary and grand theft. So he was looking at prison time. He was sitting in a wheelchair next to Judge Lisa Walsh. I don't know why he's in a wheelchair. When officials say he tried to throw his excrement at her before closing arguments began. Luckily, it missed. And we're also glad to say there were no jurors present.
How come none of this hits the you ever watch like the ABC News, like the not your local one, but like the national ABC News, I think is on at 6:30 here. And they talk about, all these things that are going on around the world. And they never talk about like guys getting tasered while they slide naked through the luggage rack in an airport, or the guy that shit himself would know it. And when did he shit himself? Would no one have noticed the smell when they rolled him in the wheelchair?
I'm guessing he did it during closing arguments. So as he was doing it, he was trying to throw it. Much like a monkey at the zoo, as they shit himself, they throw their feces at those watching.
I do not like your closing arguments. Excuse me. I hope this just isn't a fart.
Well, it gets better.
Of course.
So he threw his feces at the judge and missed, and there were no jurors present. But while he's doing it, Philidor yelled at the judge, "It's protein. It's good for you." And then witnesses say he ate some of his own feces.
Who the fuck are the witnesses if there's no jury?
Well, there's other people in the court. The court officers, the court
reporter. The one doing this?
Yes, that person, court officers. There's
And
people.
what
in,
exactly is shorthand for fucking feces?
I couldn't tell you. According to the Miami Herald, dozens of correction officers responded, and the trial was moved while the courtroom was sanitized. A spokeswoman told the paper that Philidor also defecated on himself in a holding cell on Thursday.
So this guy had diarrhea.
He just shitting himself everywhere. Well, get this. Later, a jury acquitted him of the burglary charge. He still faces another trial for the Grand Theft Auto. No word yet on if he will face any charges involving the feces.
What? Form of shit. That's it for Florida, I think.
That is done for Florida.
But we're not done with washroom, ladies and gentlemen, because we still have a little bit of the show to go. And don't know if we'll get to the tip, but we're going to try. Let's get rid of this Florida thing here. And we do have one story that doesn't involve Florida.
Behind the headlines this week in Weird News.
Look at that. Yes, there was one story outside of Florida that caught our attention. This story comes from the Daily Mail over in the UK. Headline reads, husband forgets his wife after roadside toilet break and drives off for 100 miles, believing she was asleep in the back seat, forcing her to walk 13 miles to find help in Thailand.
Now, wait a minute. This is why Jason Scott always schedules everything. So, hey, Amanda, you got 5 minutes. Go make a pee. If you got a 2, just text me and let me know. I'll give you another 10 minutes before we disembark further on our journey. This guy was not planning things.
No,
How the fuck do you forget your woman's in the bathroom? Number one, they annoy the shit out of you.
I don't think he forgot.
Oh, he was making a getaway.
And we'll discuss as we get into the story.
All right.
A husband in Thailand accidentally abandoned his wife on the side of the road and carried on driving for 100 miles, believing she was asleep in the back of the car. Buntum Chiamoon and Amunue Chiamoon set off on a Christmas day to drive through the night to her hometown province of Mahasakaram. But the driver had to pull over his Isuzu pickup truck to urinate in the night and stop the car on the side of the road. After he stepped out of the car, Amunue decided she could relieve herself too and ducked into a nearby jungle for a quick bathroom break.
Oh, so this was not at a truck stop.
This was apparently just on the side of the road. I don't think they have truck stops in Thailand.
So he urinated right by the truck, was walking. He's completely innocent. He was walking around to get back in, did not hear her slip out to do her business.
Now, I will completely contradict you and say, as a man, right, when you're driving, if you have to stop on the side of the road to take a leak, are you walking off like 100, 200 feet away? No, you're just pissing off the side of the road. You're standing right next to the car.
You're getting away from traffic is what you're doing.
Well, no, you've pulled off the side of the road. So you're now on the passenger side of the car, pissing out into whatever field. You're not walking away. You're right next to the car. We all know this. This is what men do.
Maybe he was insecure.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And this also tells me another thing too. That he pulled off and went to pee. She pulled off. She said she was going to go pee as well, which means she was awake when he pulled over. They were probably having a conversation. He told her he had to go pee, and she figured, "Oh, I can pee too."
Right. He must have said something. I'm just trying to play like I'm timing. And she said, you had to.
But he knew.
I gotta pee too. Listen, my wife, before we had children, she had to pee one time at the side of the road and grabbed a Kleenex or something and did the same thing like a man would do, except she was squatting. She did not walk into the jungle.
Right.
Just to add to that.
No, I agree. When she returned to the road, the car was nowhere to be seen, and she was left stranded in the dark. The aggrieved wife had no money or phone, so decided to walk in the hope of finding help. Eventually, after pacing down the street for 13 miles into the center of Kabenburi, she found a police station at around 5 a.m. She pleaded with the police to help her find her husband, but she did not know his number by heart, and they were unable to locate him.
I don't know my husband's number, but I stepped off a go pee. I wandered jungle.
Now, here's another thing. So she didn't have her phone with her. Her phone was in the car. They rang, when she got to the police station, they rang her phone 20 times.
Only in Taiwan.
But Boon Tom failed to notice it in his car as he drove onwards blissfully.
Right. He thought it was a spam call. This is all totally believable.
By the time the driver realized his error, he was 100 miles away from his wife and had to turn back around to collect her. Now, what I believe happened is they were on their Christmas trip overnight to this chick's hometown. She's bugging him the entire ride. He's pissed off, pulls off the side of the road. I got to piss. I'm going to just take a break and piss. She says, all right, I got to piss too. He takes that as, look, this is my chance. Gets back in the car.
But he went back and he got her.
No. Listen, this is my chance. He gets in the car and just drives. He's enjoying the quiet after she nagged him for hours and hours and hours. He's enjoying the quiet. And she had to walk. So, walk 13 miles. People walk an average of 2 miles an hour. So it took a long time to get the 13 miles to the police station. So he's flying. He's good. Once they start calling, he realizes, fuck, somebody found her, and I have to make up a story now. I have to now turn around. I see them calling. I'm not going to answer the phone because I have to take all this time to go back to her to put together my story.
And think of a story, yes.
That's right. So all that time back, he drove 100 miles. He was going to keep on driving till he got to fucking the Pacific Ocean. And he was going to be gone. But because they kept calling, he had to turn back. That's what I think happened. By the time the driver realized his error, he was 100 miles away. Had to turn back around to collect her. He had believed she was sleeping in the back seat the entire time, but desperately raced back to pick her up. He did not desperately race back at all, in my opinion.
I'm right around the corner.
The couple have been married for 27 years. For 27 years, she's been nagging him. He's tired of her shit. He left her at the side of the road and wanted peace and goddamn quiet.
Right. Look at these two in the picture. I can imagine them at the market in like Hong Kong together, right?
Just look at his eyes. Does he look like a happy person? No, they are not embracing. They are not hugging. There is space in between them. He's tired of her shit.
Right. Fuck off. However you say it in Chinese or Mandarin. I wouldn't have came back.
No, but he had to. Because I don't know the laws over there. So that could be, a whole other thing going on. So he had to, once he realized they were calling 20 times, he had to turn back around, had to come up with this story. Oh, I thought you were sleeping. I didn't realize I was just driving for 100 miles.
Right.
That's, somewhere around 2.5 hours. depending on the speed limit, how fast you're driving, and so forth. So you're sitting there for 2.5 hours thinking that she's asleep in the back seat. At no point did you ever look in the rearview mirror just to see, never mind to look in the back seat, but to see who's behind you. Because if you look in the rearview mirror, you can see the back seat. And if she's not there, there's a miss. There's something amiss.
After 27 years, though, it's probably the only little bit of peace he's ever had.
That's what I'm saying. He's sick of her shit, nagging him for 27 fucking years. He just wants quiet. 200 miles, 100 there, 100 back, 200 miles of quiet. That's all this man ever wanted.
And he's set for life now.
I guess.
I can imagine it. It's worse getting bitched at in English, but can you imagine getting bitched at in Taiwanese?
I don't envy this man once he picked up his wife. The bitching that has probably not stopped.
It'd be like a 4'2" praying mantis saying,
24 hours a day.
Yeah. You know, it's not like she's throwing plates or anything like that. She's got chopsticks in her hand.
24 hours a day of that shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't have turned back.
I wouldn't have either. But again, I don't know the laws in Taiwan. Maybe he could have faced jail time for abandonment. I don't know. So that's why he turned back. I'm guessing.
One happy couple. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. My tip of the week will also wait, because we're at that point of the show. And I think we covered a lot of really good shit tonight. We had the new take on the epicenter. Mike reads the news. We went around Florida. We hope you all are having a great week and you have an awesome weekend. This is the point if you want to participate where we name the show. I'm not so sure I have a name of the show, but I wrote down a few things. Mike Jolis, he is cooking Gant. Also, Mike Jolis, a shot to the junk.
Yep.
The Weaver House is back on the market.
That's big news.
Big news. His and her golf carts. And I guess what would be my favorite in all of this is unhand my genitals.
Unhand my genitals.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite term from the show. Now, you didn't seem too busy tonight, so I'm going to say you only have 5.
I only have 3. I didn't write down a whole lot.
Okay, so you...
And I actually, above mine that I have, I like unhand my genitals, but I'll tell you mine anyway.
You can't give that away this early.
Well, I'll tell you mine. I, too, like you had, took a shot to the junk.
I love this. That is a definite show note.
That has to be. I have, from one of the Florida stories, the Polk Pokey.
I don't know how to spell it.
Polkpokey.
Yes.
Polk as in Polk County.
Yes, I remember that.
And my contribution to possible show name would be Golf Cart Road Rage.
Oh, good. Which I would normally take as a show name, but I really, really, really think I lost my spot. That unhand my genitals.
I 100% agree. Unhand my genitals. Jason Scott with a late entry says peeing on the side of the road.
Yes, we could make that as a show note.
But I agree 100%.
I don't know why that would be a show note, though. It's something we normally do.
Well, it'd still be. Why are they talking about peeing on the side of the road?
Well, I agree, and I don't do it when I'm in like metropolitan traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm looking and there's not a rest stop for 90 miles, I'm gonna pee on the side of the road.
There you go. But unhand my genitals, I think takes it.
And Jason says everyone does it.
At some point in their lives, yes, everybody has done it.
Everyone has done it. Folks, it's been great to be with you again. By the way, I do have a special little segment. I'm sure we'll have other shit going on. But I was looking for stuff this week, and I have the top Florida news stories of 2022. I think there's like 8 headlines we can cover next week.
Okay.
I'm just curious if we covered any of them. We don't have to get into the stories or anything like that, but something perhaps we can cover. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. Jimmy's hats are available, but you got to do something. So Cave Crew Radio on Facebook, Twitter, cavecrewradio.com, cavecrewradio@gmail.com. Tell us what you're going to do to get one of these. We got them now. All right, brother. I will see you Monday for the more normal show.
It's weird that's the more normal show.
I know. It isn't really, but it's fun.
Later.
Unhand my genitals, or in Taiwanese. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Later.
Thank you to all the listeners on our affiliate stations. To find out more, check out Cave Crew Radio on Facebook and Twitter.
I want you to pack up and get out.
Get the hell out of here!
Go. Just go. Get out. Get the hell out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tomorrow they will say, Donald Trump rants and raves at the press. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people.